Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Sean Sundahl. Thank you for subscribing. If you are new to the channel, if you have been here on the channel for a while, thank you so much for your loyalty. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys like my new setup. I have the beautiful American flag, a subdued version. If you don't like that flag, then get off the channel. Get out. I don't want you in here. Hey, this is a pro law enforcement channel, pro security, pro investigation channel. I want everybody that supports law enforcement, security, and private investigators to be able to feel comfortable on this channel, to be able to make comments that advance the channel. Those of you who are not making very nice comments, get off the channel, go. I want this channel to be a community of people that are supportive of each other. So I don't want this to be a channel where people just unjustifiably backlash at everybody and criticize everybody, call each other names and everything. No, I want to advance the channel. I'm not saying that I don't want you to be constructive or make constructive comments. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying please be professional. Otherwise, you got to go. If you don't like this flag, then you can go too. So I made some adjustments to my studio here. You guys don't know this. I operate out of a home office. This is a closet. I'm in the closet right now, and I needed to do a lot of adjustments to the sound quality. So let me give you a little view here. So this is foam, and again, I have to look all this stuff up, and this absorbs the sound or my voice so that there's no echoey tone in here. So I'm trying to do the best that I can here. There's unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, this is my closet where I store at least one weapon, a self-defense weapon. So I always have this mounted. That's why you always see it in here, and it's secure. My children cannot get to it, and and unnecessarily endanger each other. Anyhow, it's locked up. So I set up these new arrangements for my closet, and hopefully you guys are getting better quality sound and video in here. I got some different lighting as well, setting up these microphones. I just want to give you guys a different experience, so hopefully you like it, okay? Well, let's get to it. Let's watch a movie. Let's watch a fight.
Want me here to go up? Want me to get closer? Do you want me to film it?
No, I'm good. They're not serious, don't worry. I love how the security guard doesn't even care.
Okay, as you see, there was a fight between two very immature persons, two adults in some type of retail environment. Looks like maybe an outdoor retail store center, maybe an outdoor mall, and the private security officer is watching. Okay, those of you who watch the channel, let's discuss your options. Now, I want to tell you right now that this officer did a good job. Okay, I was expecting him to break up the fight, but that's not what we want all the time, and I'm going to discuss why. Now, I've worked mall security in different types of environments. I work bars, clubs, warehouses, transit centers, you name it, hospitals. And this is what I found. Most of the time, you're on your own. You're by yourself. If you are going to break up a fight, there's a significant chance that one of the subjects in that fight is going to turn around and fight you. This person might intentionally punch you, hit you, strike you, even kill you, so that this person could carry on, finish the attack of the other person. That's a possibility. You might not have any weapons. Many of you work unarmed. And those of you who work armed and you only carry a firearm, well, your opportunities are very limited, because the use of force continuum, if we use that, will have, well, you always want to verbally de-escalate situations, but if that can happen, you go hands-on. The next step is a firearm. Okay, what end up happening to less lethal alternatives? Taser if you have it, pepper spray if you have it, a baton. Okay, those alternatives are out the door. Okay, and if you have no other alternatives and you're getting your butt handed to you, you might resort to lethal force in a non-lethal environment. Okay. Another thing is this. That guard that we saw, we can't just say that he's doing nothing. Okay. If you call for backup, other security officers, or you call the police, or you call somebody for help, you're not just doing nothing. You're actually doing something. Okay. And it's not on video on what he's doing. Again, you don't have to call the police, but it might be a good idea. And here's why. That fight you just saw, we don't know the whole entire context. What if I told you that one person, or one of the subjects involved in the fight, might be trying to reclaim some property that was stolen from the other guy? What if this was a strong arm robbery and one of the guys took a personal item from the other? Is the victim allowed to use reasonable force in getting their property back? Question for you guys. What do you guys think? Well, the answer is yes. You can use reasonable force to get your property back. If that person resists, then you can use reasonable force to overcome that resistance. And that is why sometimes on these private security projects that we're working on, okay, we might not be breaking up a mutual combat fight. We might actually be breaking up the victim from the suspect in a strong arm robbery or maybe an armed robbery. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. Okay? Now, if you are hell-bent on breaking up the fight because you have to, maybe you have enough backup, or maybe there's two guys. This is an idea. Again, I'm not giving you professional advice or legal advice, but let them just duke it out for a little bit. Okay? Usually the 10 seconds, 20 seconds later, you're already out of energy. Now, when you go hands on this person, you want them to be drained of energy. And why not let them waste all their energy on each other? If this is mutual combat, okay, if you have to break it up or you have to make an arrest. And in California, you can make an arrest for people that are fighting in public. Now, is this a good idea? I don't believe it's a good idea. Okay, I'd rather just call the police. Or, number two, if you don't want to call the police, that's okay. Just kick them off the property. Okay, I think two options are viable. You don't always have to call the police, but do something. If it's mutual combat, mutual fighting, I think at that time they lost well, it's not a right to be on private property, but they lost that opportunity or that privilege to be on your property. So, in most circumstances, I think it's a good idea to kick both of them out. Okay? I've seen some videos where police officers and security, they're breaking up the fight with pepper spray. Once again, what if one of the parties involved is a victim of a crime and you're using pepper spray on this person? See, police, law enforcement generally are able to make mistakes. Okay, as long as it's a good faith. With private security, it's a little bit different. So you douse both, you could potentially be doing the victim. You might be justified to douse the suspect, who you think is a suspect, but if the victim gets affected by your physical force or pepper spray, you might be in for a lawsuit that you might not be able to defend. Okay. Also, at the end of a fight, sometimes you might see somebody that is the sore loser that might go back to a car. And I've seen this working at clubs and bars. You have the sore loser. They go to the car, and then they'll get a bat. I haven't seen anybody get a gun, but I know some of you probably have. They'll go back and get a gun or a knife. Or maybe they'll reach into a waistband and get something that's lethal because they're sore losers. Okay? So imagine you're about to break up the fight, and then now you have to deal with this guy that has a lethal force option on you. Okay? Yes, I know some of you carry a firearm, and you're able to protect yourself and protect others from this lethal force encounter, but you guys, pulling the trigger is not a solution to everything. Okay? This is something difficult to do. To take the life of a human being, it weighs a lot on you. Trust me. I usually don't say trust me all the time, or I usually don't say, or I usually say when somebody says trust me, not to trust them. If you want to trust me and some of the things I say, it's up to you. Don't take my word for it. Okay. Okay. What is your advice? What are your comments on this topic about breaking up fights on private property? I love to hear you guys' war stories. Sometimes it's very, well, most of the time it's very interesting in what you guys have to say. What is your SOPs, your standard operating procedures? If you're the owner of a security guard company, what do you, or the owner or the manager or supervisor, what is your policy for your company? Really interested in knowing what it is. Hope you guys like this video and other videos. Please like, subscribe, and share the content with others. You guys all take care and be safe.